All right. Well, Josh, thanks for joining us. We're really glad to be sort of partnering with you, and I'm glad to get to hear from you and what's going on. A lot of things are happening. I'm sure you guys are really busy, and we were just talking. You're doing the parenting from home thing and the work thing and all that, and we're all trying to figure that out. So, having grace with each other on that. But I just wanted to start off by asking a little bit: how are you? How are your family? How are you doing through this whole crisis?
Well, thanks, Chris. I really appreciate it. And I'm so grateful for our partnership with you and the work we accomplished together supporting our community's most vulnerable residents. It's really incredible. We're doing fine. I mean, like for everyone, it's a struggle to figure out how do you balance work and the demand we're seeing at West Valley Community Services and family. I'm grateful to still have work to do, so that keeps me grounded.
Yeah,
Um, and that we're able to care for our children so far among my family and my staff. No one is sick at this point. We're all able
great.
to take precautions to keep everyone healthy. It's a stressful time, but I think that we found energy and the power to move on because we're able to help others, and that is really energizing at a time when there's so much stress and so much anxiety and uncertainty in the world.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, wow. That's good. That's helpful. That's good to hear too.
Yeah.
Um, So I'm glad to hear that you guys you're doing well and your staff has not gotten sick and figuring all that out. So I just am curious, how are you seeing the COVID-19 shelter in place impacting our community, specifically in the West Valley and
Yeah.
in our area?
Well, we started seeing the impacts almost immediately in March as people began to get laid off.
Mm.
We began making changes in our operations using social distancing measures and personal protective gear at the beginning of March. We changed the way we distribute food. Typically we have a shopping pantry. We don't have the space to do that. So now we were distributing in pre-bags and using masks and gloves and all those sorts of things. So a lot of our clients who are in the employment sector work in hospitality or retail or gig jobs, and those are some of the jobs that were shed first, really early in March. So we saw almost an immediate spike in new clients, requests for assistance, as well as requests for rental assistance. So a lot of the time what we see from folks is that they're able to sort of make it mostly each month, but they don't have savings. And so there's been a huge spike in new clients who fit that profile. We had a client recently, 70 plus years old, has been working in the hospitality industry her entire life, really has made it, but not had savings. And so she lost her job mid-March and had not enough money to pay April rent,
Mm.
and had never had to ask for help before. And this was the first time. So that profile of first time request
Hmm.
is something we're seeing a lot of. I mean, just to give you by the numbers, Chris, we've had 505 new clients through from the beginning of March through the end of last week. We typically see 800 clients in a year, new clients in a year. So for
Oh,
three
wow.
months, we've seen almost as much as we see typically in 12 months.
Wow.
And the request for rental assistance is 300% more year over year. Uh, and you probably know, and your listeners know, there's a moratorium on evictions right now. So as of right now, people can't get evicted, but the rent is still due and will be due at some point. And we're just concerned if people fall behind on rent. Once the moratorium is lifted, we're going to see a really a mass evictions occur. So we're trying to keep people current on their rent.
Hmm.
The real problem is obviously there aren't jobs right now. And
Yeah.
normally we would coach clients to help them get into a new job if they were unemployed. But there just aren't enough jobs available. So right now we're just trying to keep people afloat until jobs start to appear.
Hmm. Wow. Interesting. So I guess what the biggest, maybe the biggest one, like you just mentioned, the difference between now and pre-COVID-19 is you can't coach people for jobs. Are there any other big differences that you're seeing that have really sort of made
Mm.
you guys have to pivot and shift your focus and how you're helping people?
So we talked a little bit about that social distancing. It means that we can't have as many volunteers in the office as we
Yeah.
typically have, and that's been a real challenge because we're heavily volunteer driven and run. We
Hmm.
have volunteers usually at our front desk and volunteers in our food pantry and our mobile pantry, and we're have to really curtail that. But I would say maybe the biggest difference is the social distancing from the clients. We
Mm.
can't meet them in person anymore. We have for case management, we need to do that all online or over the phone. That's really different, and you can't develop the same type of relationship in that format. Unfortunately, it makes it harder and slower to move things along. We're doing our best and we're adapting. The other thing I would say that's so different is the anxiety level. It's not just economic anxiety, but now it's health anxiety, really palpable fear about the health of their families and their children. So you have that combination of health fear and economic fear that is really creating this storm of anxiety that we can feel in our clients. It's causing really a lot of challenges.
Yeah, we've felt some of the same things as far as we can't just go help people the way that we used to, and man, I don't know that anyone could have predicted this, and how to deal with it is still, we're all still figuring out how to deal with it, but wow. So as you're looking out at the biggest areas of need for West Valley, what are some of the needs, and then are there any ways that we can help with some of those big needs that you guys have, since we can't, sort of volunteer kind of a thing the same way that we used to? Maybe what are the areas of need, and how can we help?
Sure. There are two big areas that we're focusing on right now in terms of service. We're an essential business. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, delivering services, but we're focusing heavily right now on food and rental assistance. So in terms of the conversations I've been having with the community, with people who want to help, we're still accepting donated food. So if people have food they want to bring us, we don't allow people to come into the building, but we can send a staff member out to the car with personal protective equipment to come bring that food inside, and we can mail you a receipt for the food you've donated. People also have brought fruit from their trees, which is, our clients love fresh fruits and vegetables. So that's a great resource to be able to use. The other thing is we are absolutely taking donations that are largely being directed to rental assistance. So if people have the capacity and inclination make a donation to West Valley Community Services, they can know that money is going directly to the clients to help keep them housed, so we don't have any more families ending up on the street due to COVID-19.
Great. So church, the way to help is to drop by and give food at our drop and drive on Friday, but also too, if you want to give donations for rental assistance, we will make sure that all of that will go towards West Valley Community Services. So great. So Josh, is there any other important things that you would like to share with us? Maybe any stories or just anything that you think would be helpful for us to know kind of as we continue through this crisis?
I think just to drive home again, that what we're seeing now is people who've never asked for help before come to us for the first time, people who were employed prior to COVID-19 who are now out of work and without savings to pay their bills. We're seeing families really upended as a result of it. But I will say it's partnerships with folks like you that really bring light in such a tense and awful time. I'm just so heartened by the community response to helping those most vulnerable residents. It shows you the goodness of humanity and the way that we can come together to lift up people who are facing adversity. It brings me such joy, and I'm just so grateful for all the work you all are doing to support those most in need.
Well, Josh, we would express the same to you. Thank you for helping so many people. One of our things as a church is we really don't want to recreate anything that's already happening in the community. And so, we haven't created our own food pantry because we see you guys knocking it out of the park, and we really appreciate all you guys do in reaching people that we probably wouldn't reach anyhow. So we're really grateful for your work as well. So thanks for all you do and helping people during this crisis, and good to talk to you.
Great to talk to you, Chris. Thanks so much.